Welcome to class, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and find your comfortable seat and find any movement that you need before settling into stillness. So maybe just a stretch through the arms, maybe rolling the shoulders a couple of times, maybe just gently turning the head from side to side, or nodding up and down. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and find a place of stillness, somewhere you can sit up nice and tall, and then allow the eyes to soften or to close. And beginning to draw your attention inward to your breath. Noticing how the breath is feeling today, how the body is feeling. Maybe you're feeling a little tight in the chest or a little stuck. Maybe the muscles are feeling a little bit tight or clenched in certain places. And see if with every exhale, you can begin to release a little bit of that tension. Feeling it dissolve or melt away with the breath. Feeling the body begin to arrive here on your mat. And beginning to release anything that's been on your mind, anything that's been in your heart, anything that's been affecting your body the past few days, the past week, the past month. It's our second full moon tonight for the month of October, and full moons are often seen as a time to begin to celebrate the accomplishments of the month, but also to let go of anything that's stagnant, anything that's no longer serving you. So take a few more deep belly breaths here. And just noticing if anything pops into your mind, anything that you're ready to release, anything that you're ready to celebrate. And take one more breath here. Maybe thinking if you have an intention or a dedication for your class today. And then slowly beginning to find some movement in the fingers and toes. Maybe rotating the wrists. And then allowing the eyes to open if they're closed. Let's all inhale, take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. And on your exhale, let's twist to the right. So sitting up nice and tall here, making sure you're not just cranking into the twist. Make sure that you sit up nice and tall, and then use the exhales to help you soften and twist just a little bit more. Give it one more breath here. And then slowly release, come back to center. And let's inhale, reach the arms up nice and slow. And exhale, twist the other way. So twist to the left this time. And again, sit up nice and tall. Feel that length through the spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then if you'd like, you can turn the chin. You can find a slightly deeper twist with your breath. And give it one more deep breath here. And then slowly release, come back to center. And let's take the hands behind the hips. If you're sitting up on something, you may need to come off of it. That's what I'm going to do. We're just going to take the fingertips behind the hips. Hands are pointing towards your body. And you can be up on the fingertips or you can be flat on the palms. Just make sure you're not leaning back too far. And then hug the shoulder blades together so you're opening the chest. And then press through the hands a little bit to sit up nice and tall. And then drop the left ear over the left shoulder. Breathing into the right side of the neck. Give it one more breath. And then bring the head gently back to center and drop the right ear over the right shoulder whenever you're ready, still squeezing the shoulder blades together. And give it one more breath here. And then bring the head back to center. Release the hands, maybe go ahead and shake them out. All right, let's come into table. So take a moment to arrive in your table, patting the knees or the wrists if you need to. And when you set up in your table here, make sure that the knees are directly underneath the hips. Hands can be underneath the shoulders or they can be a little bit in front. That's going to take some of the pressure off the wrists. And then just bump the hips to the right, look over your left shoulder. Make sure that left foot is pointing straight back from the knee. And then come back to center. Other side, bump the hips left, look over the right shoulder. Make sure that right foot is pointing straight back. And then come back to center. We're going to sit the hips back almost like child's pose. We're not going down quite that far. And then on your inhale, drop the elbows, rolling through into your cow. And exhale, rounding through the back, sitting back on your heels. So we're taking this rolling cat-cow today. If for some reason this is not feeling great in your body, find any other version of cat-cow that you prefer. Pressing the toes, the fingers into your mat for some stability here. Moving with your own breath. And let's take 2 more rounds. And finish up your last round. And then let's press back up to table. And we're going to curl the toes under and send the hips up and back to downward dog. So take a moment here, maybe widen the hands, maybe widen the feet a little bit. And then take your dog for a little walk, bending one knee at a time, maybe sending the hips a little side to side, maybe shaking your head a little yes and no. And then find stillness in your down dog for one breath. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then look up at your hands. Take a nice slow walk or just step up to meet the hands. Coming into your forward fold, your ragdoll here. Let the head and neck go. Bend the knees generously. Maybe clasp opposite elbows. You can also just walk the hands side to side on your mat. Let the head and neck go. And then release the hands if you were clasping the elbows. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to the legs for support. Belly button draws in. Exhale, soften and release. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Belly button draws towards your spine. Exhale, let it go. Last time. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long line of the spine here. And exhale, let it go. Bend the knees. Start a slow roll up. Core is engaged. Press through the feet. Coming all the way up to your mountain pose. Take your time. When you arrive, you can go ahead and shake out anything you might need to. All right. So go ahead and grab your blocks. You may only need one, you may not need any, but it's a good idea to just have them nearby. They don't have to be right on the mat, but you want them within reach. So we're going to do a different variation of a moon salutation today. We're going to move a little bit faster than I normally would through these poses, but not so fast that we're going to not be able to breathe and release in each pose. So let's start in our mountain. So find your strong mountain pose. Press the feet down into the mat. Notice if you're clenching the toes though. When we press the feet, we have a tendency to kind of grip in the toes. See if you can release that a little bit. Find a gentle mini bend in the knees. Palms can face forward if you'd like. They can also come together at the heart. Standing up nice and tall here, feeling the feet rooting down. Imagining this upward current of energy through the front body. So finding a little bit of a lift in the chest, the top of the head, and then this grounding current of energy in the back body. So the tailbone is dropping. Breathing one more breath here in mountain. And then let's interlace the fingers. Go ahead and press the palms up overhead. And then notice if your shoulders have crept up by your ears. See if you can drop the shoulders a little bit. And then inhale up and over to the left. And inhale back to center. And exhale up and over to the right. And back to center. Go ahead and release the arms out to the sides. And let's step our feet wide. Toes are pointing forward. This is called five-pointed star. So feel the tailbone dropping down. See if you can balance the weight between the heels and the toes. Soften the shoulders a little bit, but keep the arms up. And then let's go ahead and turn the heels in, toes out. You can release the hands to the hips if you'd like here, or you can take them together at the heart. We're going to find goddess. So first let's focus on the legs. Go ahead and bend the knees. You may need a little bit of an adjustment here. And you want the knees tracking over maybe about the second and third toe. So you don't want the knees collapsing in. You're dropping the tailbone straight down. And again, hands can come to the heart. They can also come up into cactus arms. Breathing here. And then press through the feet to straighten the legs. Let's release the hands and turn the right toes to face center and the left toes to face the left. Bring the arms back up to shoulder height. We're going to take our triangle here. So bump that hip over to the right. Start to reach your left hand over. Reach as far as you can and then release the hand wherever it lands, either on the shin or the thigh, not on the knee, and reach that right hand up. So imagine opening the heart. Give it one more breath here in triangle. And allow that top arm to draw you back up. We're going to switch the feet. So keep the arms here. We're working on arm strength. Left toes come in. Right toes go to the right. And then bump that left hip over to the left. Start to reach to the right as far as you can go. And then release. Make sure that hand doesn't land on the knee. Reach the left arm up. Hug the core in so that you don't collapse into this bottom hand. Give it one more breath. And then slowly come back up. Let's release the arms. And since we're over here to the right, we're going to make an adjustment in the feet. So go ahead and come into what would be your warrior one stance. So those left toes are pointing at about a 45-degree angle. You can separate the feet a little bit more, a little wider, and turn that right hip forward. I'm sorry, the left hip. Turn the left hip forward. This is where you might want your block. We're going to go into pyramid. So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, go ahead and start to hinge forward at the hips. Maybe releasing the hands to the thigh or the shin. You can release them to blocks, one or two on any height, or all the way to the floor. Softening the head and neck. Imagine drawing that right hip back. Breathing here. Give it one more breath. And then we're going to transition here. So bend that right knee. Turn the left toes to face forward. Your heel might lift, that's okay. And then release the left knee to the mat. So we're coming up into our lunge. I know it's a slightly different transition than we normally do. Go ahead and take a moment to pad that the left knee if you need to. So we're coming up, we're taking our hands to the leg. And then if you'd like, you can stay here, working on opening the front of that hip, or you can turn to the side. So the right hand can come to the low back, or it can reach straight behind you. Give it one more breath. And then take that hand back to the hip, bring the chest back to center. Take a moment if you don't have your block to grab it. And we're going to take it on that on the outside of that right leg. So my leg may be blocking it, but whatever foot of yours is forward, that's the side you want it on. So you're going to take your hand to the block. Maybe you're just going to open from here. So take that other hand to the hip, maybe a slight side bend. Or if you'd like, take that arm up and over and find that deeper side bend. Give it one more breath. And slowly release. You can set your block aside. We'll need it for the other side, so keep it nearby. And step that foot back so you're in table. Take the knees together, toes together. Go ahead and drop the hips to the left. Look over your right shoulder. And come back to center. Drop the hips right, look over the left shoulder. And come back to center. Curl the toes under. Send the hips up and back. Find your downward dog once more. Shake the head a little, yes and no. Take a deep breath in here. And open the mouth, sigh it out, let something go. Look up at your hands, walk or step up to meet them. Find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go, soften and fold. On your inhale, start to roll up again, nice and slow. And find your mountain pose. If you need to shake it out before the other side, you always can. All right, we don't take ourselves too seriously here in yoga. All right, we're gonna do that one more time on the other side. So when you're ready, interlace the fingers, press the palms up and overhead. Then soften your shoulders. And then find a side bend to the right. And come back to center. And side bend to the left. And come back to center. Release the arms, shoulder height. Let's step the feet wide. Find that 5-pointed star. Legs are strong, arms are strong. Soften the shoulders. Find a little lift in the chest for one more breath. And then turn the heels in, toes out. Bend the knees. Find your goddess. Dropping the tailbone straight down. Hands can always come together at the heart if this is too much on the shoulders. Give it one more breath. And then press through the feet to come all the way up and out. Open the arms out again. And let's turn the right toes to the right, left toes to face center. And start to reach that right hand over, coming into your triangle, reaching as far as you can, and then release the hand, take the left arm up. Imagine opening your heart a little bit more. And then lift from that back hand, pulls you all the way up. Turn the right toes in, turn the left toes to the left. Start to bump the hips over to the right as you reach to the left, reach as far as you can. And then release the hand. Right arm comes up. Core is engaged here, legs are strong. Give it one more breath. And then let that top hand pull you all the way back up. Let's release the arms. Maybe give yourself a little shoulder roll if the shoulders are feeling stiff. And then let's come into what would be our warrior one position. We're not going to bend the knee, but we're facing to the left. So that back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Front foot is pointing forward. See if you can dial your hips forward. And then from here, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're going to find pyramid. So start to hinge forward. Releasing the hands to the thigh, to the shin. You can have blocks on any height here. Or you can release the hands all the way to the floor. Softening the head and neck, finding any bend in that front leg that you need to here, especially if you're feeling any pain or pinching in the back of the leg. Give it one more breath. And then nice and slow, we're going to keep the front foot where it is. We're just going to bend that knee so that your hands can come down onto the mat. And then turn the back foot, maybe the heel lifts, and drop that knee. So we're coming up into our lunge on this side. Take a moment to adjust. Make any adjustments you need. Pad the back knee if you need to. We're taking the hands to the front thigh. Make sure you still have a block within reach. We're going to need it in a second. So maybe stay here. Maybe start to turn towards that extended leg. Maybe take the back hand to the hip and you're wrapping the front hand around the outside of the thigh. So maybe staying here. This is quite a stretch already. Or maybe you extend that back hand. Give it one more breath wherever you are. And then release the hand. Come back to center. Go ahead and grab your block. And let's take it outside of the hip. So we're going to take our hand down to the block. I'm sorry, I'm facing away from the camera so you can't see where my block is, but it's on this side. And then maybe take your hand to the hip and just start to lean over towards the block side from here. Or if you'd like, you can lift the fingers up. Give it one more breath. And then slowly release the hand. And go ahead and set that block aside. We'll take the hands down to the mat and step that front knee back. And find child's pose. Any version that feels good. If heart to earth pose or puppy posture feels better, leaving the hips lifted, go ahead and find that. Maybe rocking the forehead a little side to side on your mat. Letting the front body just soften and melt towards the earth. And breathing into the back body. And give yourself one more deep, deep breath here. And then nice and slow, walk the hands back, press yourself back up. And let's come to a seat. And we're going to take the legs wide. So in your seat, legs are nice and wide. Feet are flexed here. And then let's lean over to the right. So right hand can come to the leg. It can be in front or behind. And send the left arm up and over. So we're finding a side bend. One more breath. And then slowly come back up to center. Let's send the left hand down the leg and inhale. Right arm reaches. Breathing here, one more breath. And slowly come back up. You may want to strap for this next one. You may not need it. It's up to you. Go ahead and grab it. Mine's a little inconveniently far away. So if you do want to use a strap here for head to knee, you can take the strap around the bottom of the foot, the right foot. Left leg is still extended. Both toes are flexed. Both sets of toes are flexed. Sit up nice and tall. And then just start to fold over that right leg. You may not go very far here, especially if you're tight in the hamstrings. Just breathing wherever you are, finding a tuck of the chin. Maybe walk hands further down the strap or holding onto the leg or foot. Give it one more breath. And then draw the belly button in, slowly roll up. You can release the strap. We're going to take it to the other side. So maybe if you wanted to use the strap for this side, taking it around the bottom of that left foot. Right foot is still flexed. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, start to fold over that left leg. And again, you can just stay right here. Each side might be a little different. This might be the side you have to back off on, or the side you can fold a little deeper. You can always release the strap and hold on to your leg or foot. Give it one more breath. And then slowly start to roll up. You can set the strap aside. And let's just take the hands into the center between the legs. So inhale, lift the chest, lift the top of the head. Exhale, just start to walk yourself forward here. You don't have to go very far. Just walking the hands out in front of you, finding a gentle tuck of the chin. And breathing into the back body here. And give it one more breath. Soften the face. And then slowly walk yourself back up. And let's bend the knees, take the bottoms of the feet together. So coming into butterfly or cobbler's pose here. And then inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, start to round. So tuck the chin to the chest, round the upper back and shoulders, finding your fold here. Take one more deep, deep back body breath. And then hug the belly button towards the spine. Start to roll up from your center, nice and slow. You can use the hands to close the knees, and we're going to come on to our back. You shouldn't need any props unless you want them for Shavasana. So go ahead and grab anything you might need, and we will meet up on our backs. Once you get to your back, maybe take some windshield wipers with the knees, or maybe hug the knees into the chest and rock a little side to side. And if the knees are lifted, go ahead and release them. And then hug just the right knee into the chest. Maybe take some ankle circles with that right foot. And make sure you go in both directions. And then go ahead and extend that right foot up towards the ceiling. You can keep as much of a bend in the knee as you need to. And go ahead and flex and point the foot. If you do want to use a strap here, you can go ahead and do that. You can also just hold on to either side of the leg or behind the knee or thigh. You're gently encouraging that right leg towards your front body. Breathing into the back of the leg here. And then slowly rebend the knee. Keeping that right knee hugged in, go ahead and extend the left leg long. And then start to find your twist here. Right knee is coming across to the left. Right hip is lifting. Right arm can go out to the right. If it's comfortable for your neck, you can also turn the chin to look out over that right arm, only if that feels good. And give it one more deep, deep, full breath here. And then slowly turn the chin back to center if the head was turned. Slowly draw that right knee back to center. Release the right foot to the mat. Rebend that left knee and take some windshield wipers with your feet nice and wide. And then hug the left knee into the chest. And take some ankle circles with that left foot. Make sure you go in both directions. And then extend the left foot up towards the ceiling. Keep as much of a bend in that knee as you'd like. And start to slowly flex and point the foot. You are gently drawing that leg towards the front body, but right now you're just stretching the leg a bit, so you don't have to worry too much about that part. Breathing here. Take one more breath. And then slowly rebend that left knee. Extend the right leg long down your mat. And then nice and slow, start to take that left knee over to the right. So the leg is crossing over that right leg. The hips are stacking. The left arm can come out to the left, or you can take a cactus arm with the elbow bent. If it feels good on the neck, you can turn the chin to look to the left. Breathing wherever you are. And give it one more breath here, releasing that knee a little bit more to gravity. And then slowly take the chin back to center if the head was turned. Use your core to help draw that left knee back as well. Rebend the right knee. Take your feet wide and do those windshield wipers one more time. And then take the bottoms of your feet together, knees wide, reclined cobbler or reclined butterfly. Reach the arms up overhead if you'd like, elbows bend, fingertips touch, creating this diamond shape with the arms and the legs. If this is too much on the shoulders, go ahead and just rest the hands on the belly. Letting the elbows, the knees just surrender and release to gravity here. And breathing into the belly. Feeling that rise and fall. And then releasing the hands if they were lifted, gently using the hands to close the knees together. And finding a moment here as you make your way into Shavasana for any other movement you might need. Maybe drawing the knees into the chest and rocking around. Maybe taking a happy baby. Maybe taking a different supine twist. Or just a full body stretch. Finding any other movement the body needs before heading into your comfortable final resting pose. Legs can extend long. You can use a pillow or a bolster under the knees. Arriving in your final resting pose to begin to absorb your practice. And when you've found your comfortable position, allowing the eyes to soften or close. And let's all take a deep, deep, full breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. Deep, deep, full breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Deepest breath you've taken all day. And let everything go. Allow your body to release to the weight of gravity here. No need to hold or tense any muscles anymore. See if you can allow them to begin to soften. Softening the jaw, the forehead, feeling the weight of your shoulders, of your hips on the mat. Softening down each arm into the fingers and down each leg into the toes. And giving yourself a moment here to absorb your practice. Begin to deepen your breath. And if it's comfortable for you, bring one hand to your heart and one to your belly. Feel the rhythm of your breath, like the rise and fall of ocean waves. As you continue to follow the breath, begin to imagine that you are standing on a beautiful, secluded beach. This can be any kind of beach that appeals to you. It can be sandy or rocky. It can be warm or cool. And as you imagine this beach, see if you can fill in more details in your imagination. Hear the sound of the waves and smell the salty air. Feel the texture of the rocks or sand beneath your feet. And as you notice all the details of your beach, begin to walk slowly along the shore. You have no real destination in mind. You're just enjoying your time in this peaceful place. And as you walk slowly along your beach, begin to think of things that you've done or accomplished over the last month. They can be things that have happened to you that you're grateful for, or things you've achieved that you are proud of. They can be new projects that you've started, or new friends that you've made. Whether these things are big or small doesn't matter. Just know that each is important because of the energy and care you've put into them. Once you've come to a natural stopping place and have expressed gratitude or pride in these accomplishments, now begin to think of anything you're ready to let go of. Things that are no longer serving you and that you are ready to release. In your imagination, picture each of these things as a small stone. See them one at a time appearing in your hand. And as you are ready, set each stone down on your beach, releasing whatever it represents from your heart and your mind. And when you feel like you have released it, continue walking, leaving that stone behind you. Do this as many times as you need to, picturing the things, situations, or people that are no longer serving your highest good, and releasing them with each stone you place on the beach. When you have left behind all of your stones, notice how much lighter you feel. Notice how much clearer your mind and heart, how much more open they feel after you've released everything that was weighing you down. Once you have released the final stone, take a moment to just stand still on your beach and enjoy this feeling. Breathing deeply and knowing that you are now free to invite in new experiences and new feelings in the month to come. When you are ready, begin to bring your mind back into your body. And begin to find small movements in your fingers and toes. And draw your hands up overhead, or maybe draw your knees into the chest. Rock a little side to side. And when you're ready, making your way onto one side, And pressing back up to a comfortable position. Allowing the eyes to soften or close. If it feels comfortable here, draw the hands together at your heart. Taking a moment of gratitude for this time and space to be with your breath and practice. And also thanking yourself for allowing your mind, your body, and your heart to clear away any old or stale energy, anything that's no longer serving you, to make space for your new highest good. And thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.